Hello, this is Angelique, and you're listening to We're Booked Up, a segment of the Gaston Speaks podcast wherein Kendall, Andrew, and I discuss books. For this episode, we'll be discussing Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. There will be spoilers, so come back after you've read the book if you'd like to avoid those. But first, what have we been reading or watching? Andrew?
I read this today.
Mm-hmm.
And the last book I read was the one from the previous We're Booked Up. So I'm on a real good streak here. Yeah. I don't know. I have not been watching a lot of new stuff, so I don't really have much to talk about. I feel bad. I don't have much to talk about. I did see a movie called Blue Moon on Netflix. It was really good. Ethan Hawke got an Oscar nod. And I watched the Indie Spirit Awards on Sunday, which was fun because I'm a voter, so I got to see. I did not do well. My favorites did not do well, but that's okay. I'm very happy for the people who won. So I always like that. It's a fun. They actually do it on the beach, on Venice Beach. And our friend Emily, when she lived in Santa Monica, actually was walking one day, and they had the big tent up, and so she took a big picture of it. So it's kind of a fun rough and tumble type thing. And they do it on YouTube, so they don't bleep anything, and there's no like commercials. It's fun. It's fun. But anyway, what about you? Because mine was not interesting.
So I watched the first part of season 4 of Bridgerton.
Okay.
I'm hooked. I'm there. I'm interested. I'm excited for the next part to come out, which at the time of recording it has not. By the time it's posted, it will. So we'll find out.
And we're bringing back Bridgerton at the library again at Comic-Con, which is cool. So.
Yeah, I've seen some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that Maddie is starting to prepare, and it's going to be a good time.
Awesome.
It's going to be a good time. And then I also watched... What did I watch? Let me look at my list. Sorry. Fantastic Four.
Was it not good?
It was so boring.
The new one?
I love Pedro Pascal.
Mm-hmm.
it was so boring.
All right, Vanessa Kirby, too. That's disappointing.
Honestly.
It just was so... I cannot emphasize how boring this movie was.
That's a shame. Because, like, the whole point of those movies is to be fun.
I know.
You know? Like,
there's no fun. Well, it's also supposed to be, like, futuristic and... I don't know. Anyway, and then I also... I watched the Thursday Murder Club movie on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
After reading the book, the movie, meh.
Okay.
Perfectly cast, but they messed some stuff up that is a little unforgivable, in my opinion. But if you haven't read the book, watch the movie first, and maybe you will be happy.
Maybe.
So
Cool.
And then I still have not finished Assistant to the Villain. I am more of the way through, though.
Nice.
And
We're reading that one, aren't we?
No.
No.
We're
no,
reading...
Maddie is.
Yeah.
What are we reading?
The next book for us is How to Become the Dark Lord in Die
That's
Mind.
it. I knew it was kind of one of those. Yeah, okay, never mind.
And then I'm starting I have started a book club with my siblings and our friend Lindsay, and we're going to be reading All This Could Be Different by Sarah. I don't think that middle name's right. It's not Sarah Thanks Matthews. What is it?
Autocorrect strikes again.
Thankum. Thankam. Matthews. Matthews with 1 T. So we're going to try that.
Sounds good. What about you?
I've been watching a lot of YouTube. I started watching car crash videos again.
Oh, good. I was worried about you.
The balance in the universe is restored. Yes.
I watched a movie recently. I'm trying to remember the name of it because I watched it like the day before my birthday. Hard Eyes? Is it Hard Eyes Killer or just Hard Eyes? Anyway, it's like a horror romance kind of thing.
Okay.
It has Mason Gooding.
Okay.
Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son.
Yeah.
And then Olivia Holt.
That name sounds really familiar.
I think it's Olivia Holt.
You're looking at
Devin Sawa's in it too, but he doesn't last long.
Devin Sawa. That's a blast from the past. Jeez.
I have heart eyes for him, or at least 12-year-old Kendall does. And it's heart. It's just heart eyes.
Heart Eyes.
I was hearing hard.
Me too. Yeah. And I was like, that's a love story. I'm like, okay.
It was a fun movie. They do a lot of like in the dialogue. They'll reference like a lot of movies, and it's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
Okay. Cool deal.
And
So we read this. We did a lot of other, but we really focused on this.
To be fair to us, which the people don't know, we read our other 2 books within, like, our January and February books within, like, 2 weeks. And
That's
so this
true.
one was pretty quick off the heels. So we had like 3 books in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So that was a little behind the scenes action
Yes,
for
yes.
you guys. A little
We
tidbit.
sacrifice for you all, for our listeners. I'm just letting you know that we had to read 3 books in 6 weeks.
That we had planned to read last year. We've known for a year.
Yeah.
Help
Yeah.
us. All right.
Sometimes you just don't feel like reading, though.
I know. Well, I mean, it was also just the holidays and all the things.
And even though we'll get into this book, I was so tired when I finally, like, because I had a lot to read today, that it was just a struggle. Not because anything that's not saying anything about the book. It was just a personal. It didn't matter what I was reading or watching. I was not. So I had to keep like refocusing.
Yeah.
A lot going on. It's not a bad thing. It's just a lot going on. So, all right, let's do this.
All right, I'm going to read the synopsis and then we'll rate it. Joan Goodwin has been obsessed with the stars for as long as she can remember. She is content with her life as a professor of physics and astronomy and as an aunt to her precocious niece, Frances, until she comes across an advertisement seeking the first women scientists to join NASA's space shuttle program. Suddenly, Joan burns to be one of the few people to go to space. Selected from a pool of thousands of applicants in the summer of 1980, Joan begins training at Houston's Johnson Space Center, alongside an exceptional group of fellow candidates. Top Gun pilot Hank Redmond and scientist John Griffin, easygoing even when the stakes are high, mission specialist Lydia Danes, who has worked too hard to play nice, warm-hearted Donna Fitzgerald, navigating her own secrets, and Vanessa Ford, the magnetic and mysterious aeronautical engineer who can fix any engine and fly any plane. As they become unlikely friends to prepare for their first flights, Joan finds a love she never imagined. In this new light, Joan begins to question everything she thinks she knows about her place in the observable universe. Then, in December of 1984, on mission STS-LR9, it all changes in an instant. Fast-paced, thrilling, and emotional, Atmosphere is Taylor Jenkins Reid at her best, telling a passionate and soaring story about the transformative power of love, this time among the stars.
It's a good synopsis.
Yes.
I feel like it's slightly inaccurate, but yeah.
Where?
Well, we don't actually get into any of the other characters very much.
Not so much. I do.
You get
they
them
did-
as a group, as a character.
Yeah, it was really. It's not an ensemble, but
Yeah.
in the beginning, I was like, I don't know which character to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
But by the end, I had a grasp of who you needed to know and who you didn't.
And I know enough about them to kind of, you know.
Donna, Hank, Griff, Lydia, Vanessa, those are the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could not remember who Jack was at the end, by the way. They kept talking like when she was looking to Jack or whatever, and Jack's...
Mission Command, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they had not mentioned him in a while.
I
Yeah.
know. I could not.
Yeah. That is a
Steve.
hallmark of her. That was a hallmark of, like, even Malibu Rising, where there's a lot of, it all kind of comes together, but there's a lot of, like, bouncing back and forth and piecing it together.
Mhm.
So you're kind of cutting and.
But I like that she didn't dumb it down too much for us.
Oh, no. I'm just
So I
saying that
appreciate
was.
that.
When I first started Malibu Rising, I remember it was kind of jarring, and then I got used to it. So when this started, I was like, okay, this is just her style.
Mhm.
Got it.
And it's
you know?
going. What is the word when it's not chronological?
Unchronological.
I know. Yesterday I was like
Achronological?
asynchronous, but I don't know. Actually, no. When it's not in the correct.
Nonlinear?
There we go.
Oh,
She does that. She did it in the other book I read of hers,
Mhm.
and then it looks
Yeah.
like she did it in something else.
I think even Evelyn Hugo, she did that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's just
her
her
style.
It's her style. Yeah. So once you get used to it, it's you can handle it. But anyway,
All right, let's rate it.
Oh, we know I'm a 5-star book.
4.5.
Yeah,
Oh, I loved it.
I was just
Maybe
devastated.
5. My only thing is I felt like I rushed through it, so I feel like I didn't get to absorb it as much. But I loved what I read.
I think if you had been able to have the time to read it,
Mhm.
like
4.5.
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah, I liked it. I wouldn't reread it, but I like it.
No, I wouldn't reread it.
I don't really reread books though.
I don't. These people. I can rewatch old
rereader.
old
you do?
television shows, but
Mhm.
I cannot reread hardly anything.
I'm in your kind of boat. I can't unless if it's like something I grew up with.
Mhm.
Yes, if it's a comfort show, sure.
Mhm.
But I don't watch the shows we watch now.
Yeah, I have very few comfort books.
Do not ask me what happened in Ted Lasso. I do not know. I've only seen it once. Don't know,
Yeah,
but I
that's true.
loved it.
Yeah.
I know
yeah.
I loved it.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought I loved this book so much. I will.
I expected you to love it.
I know. I'm a little like we discussed it a little bit that you didn't hate it and
Yeah.
you weren't struggling.
I was trying to save it for the podcast.
Oh, you're so good.
There was one too. It was Pod CSAT in one of our like bookings. It's Pod CSAT. It's like because I looked and then I kind of like that's not. I think I misspelled it. But anyway, First question.
First question.
Let's do it.
What did you think of Joan Goodwin and Vanessa Ford? Did you have any other favorite characters?
I like Joan. I like Vanessa. Other favorite characters? I mean, I liked Griff was lovely. Donna was a good support system. I'm trying to think. I mean,
I kind of liked Lydia.
I liked Lydia too. I get we have a language that we can understand Lydia, right?
Yeah.
I warned Angelique about this. She's my Paris Geller.
Uh-huh.
That I want to hate her, but secretly, like, I totally get her, and then I just kind of like her. And also, my one funny line is, when we get to that, is a Lydia line.
Well, she had the jokes.
Yeah,
There was, like,
yeah.
She was
Well,
funny.
she was a Donna line, but
funny.
it's a Donna line, but it's a funny like riff on that.
Yes.
I liked the vibe. You're right. They didn't necessarily dive into all the other characters, but she did a good job of building that vibe around that core group.
Yeah, they were like full characters. You
Yeah.
just didn't like focus on them.
One thing I really like about her is the author is how well she created the relationships.
Mhm.
And so even though you didn't have a ton of scenes with necessarily Griff or Hank or even Lydia, like you have a understandable relationship between each of the characters, and you can even see it when, like Hank and Vanessa get along really well.
Yeah.
Like you can see that even though we don't really have conversations between Hank and Vanessa.
She does it in like snapshots in a lot of ways. And
Mhm.
so, but she does that on purpose. I think her point is, I don't need to fill in the gaps.
Mm-hmm.
You should see that as they spend time together, that this is how those relationships build.
I'm a big fan of the relationships. So the relationships it's more even so than the characters. I love the relationships between the people. I even really understood Barbara and Joan's relationship. I feel like I got that. I understood why it was the way it was. And I feel like it was so real. And part of the reason why I liked the book is it's like the moments that would happen in the book, I'm like, I've done that in my life. I've seen that in my life. Like this is a reflection of a real moment in time. And I think that's just really well done.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
I like
really answer-
Frances. I like Franny.
Yeah,
I like their
Frances is
relationship. And yeah, I mean, I know she's a kid, but I thought that.
She reminded me so much of why my oldest, who's 9. So,
Yeah.
like, in some of those moments where Joan talks about her aging up and out, and suddenly, like, now she cares about different things. And even though it's a short time for us, it's big time for the kids. So, like, the kids, like, oh, I've been like this all the time. And this is, but then you have to cope as the parental figure with this change that has happened within, like, 12 months.
You know how sometimes a lot of authors will throw in stuff like that to kind of add tension,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't feel real. This one, where, spoiler alert, at the end, Frances ends up with Joan because Barbara basically abandons her in so many ways, and that kind of puts a stunk in her and Vanessa's relationship, but it felt real because we knew how important that bond was. So that it didn't just feel like a vice.
It was the way it was because it was well done. You were almost rooting for it to happen, as opposed to like, oh no, she's gonna have another, challenge in her life when she's got so much else going on. Instead, it was like, no, this needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
This is supposed to happen, and this is a good thing. So that was really
I
nice.
hated Barbara. Oh, we'll get to that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
No, let's talk about it. Why did you hate Barbara?
Well, I didn't like her from the beginning, but then it's like the villain story played out. No, the guilt thing, and I've dealt with that in my life in multiple situations where you give your all, and then the second, and you're always there, you do everything you can, and the second you choose something for yourself, not abandoning anything, didn't stop loving, didn't stop being a part of their lives, but just wasn't exactly what that person expected you to be, then you're a problem. That guilt that she would lay on Joan because she is, training to go into space. So she skipped a weekend of seeing her niece. Not even technically, I mean, at the end, her child, but not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to I hated Barbara. And then in the end, I was like, you know what? Good. Get out. Go to Europe. I hate you.
Hot take.
You liked Barbara?
No, I didn't like Barbara.
Oh.
Everything you said is 100% true. Like her actions and behaviors, yeah, she should be held accountable. They're in a lot of ways unforgivable. I understand Barbara. I know what happened. She is the second girl. And when your older sister's perfect and you have there's no comparison. You start to live out your own life, and everything you do, she even says at one point, like, I make one tiny mistake and it's like devastating for me. And so, like, why not just lean into that and you start to act out much like Frances does? And then she gets pregnant, and then it's, the 70s and 80s, and there's not a whole lot of support for women, and she is struggling to get by. She hasn't had a time, like, she's exhausted. So, like, Frances has that one moment where she kicks Joan. That's the first time Joan has ever had an experience like that. That is Barbara's every single day, right? And so it makes sense to me that she went from survive to she felt like she could function in life when she met this guy that can provide her all the things and allows her to quit her job, and they're not living on beans and having to take money from her parents who are eventually going to pass away. Like, I understand Barbara in a real way.
Yeah.
I get it. I wouldn't make her choices, but I understand it.
Yeah, Joan obviously loves her sister and loves her niece, but she's not there every day. And so she becomes sort of like, in some sense, an unreliable narrator of Barbara's life.
Mm-hmm.
So you can hate Barbara, and you
should. Like, she
Barbara's
does.
trash.
Yeah,
She does awful things.
Yeah, she does. She's unfair and she's mean, and she's kind of a little bit narcissistic.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, she's still a single mom with a daughter in the 70s, 80s, trying to make it. But yeah.
Then in my thing about that is then she does at the end, she's sort of grateful, but she's saying she's grateful as she's sending Franny off to boarding school to Joan, but she was not really great to Joan and all of that. Instead of being grateful to her along the way for being that support system and being there.
Yeah.
She was, again, she was only grateful when she was like, I'm giving up.
Yeah. So you're right. That goes into the sister dynamic there, where you have your totally perfect sister who swoops in and just saves the day, but then she's also your only reprieve in life. It's very complicated. Yeah. So I get it. But do I like Barbara? No. She is not my favorite. I don't condone this is not like, yay, Barbara, but I feel like she created a villain that's not really a villain. Like, Jimmy was a villain. Jimmy was just gross and had inappropriate jokes, and he was a reflection of the time and the environment. Barbara was a real person and a product of the environment. And I think that Barbara has an ability to be redeemed later. Like, if the story continued. Mm-hmm. I think she did love her daughter. She still made sure her daughter had some of the basics. But love, affection, attention. That was all Joan.
Yeah. All right, we ready for the next question? What did you think of how Reed structured the story? As kind of like...
There were times where... And again, I've been through this with her books before, so there are times where you, like, who's Jack? You have those moments where you're like, okay, it takes a second. But it also, though, especially with, like, Vanessa on the spaceship, it's very cinematic. In my opinion. And you see a lot of movies like that. And I wouldn't even call it flashbacks, because I feel like flashbacks it's more like just cutting this into time and interweaving parts that then relay back to the present more so than just, which is, I guess, a flashback. But it doesn't feel like that so much, because you hate flashbacks.
They didn't bother me here because it felt more like sort of like this, it's not the actual correct phrase, like a frame tale, where there's this overreaching story and then there's these smaller stories within it, kind of thing, like the Cameron oh my gosh, Chaucer, those are frame tales, right? But this felt like a frame tale in the sense like there's this one big story, this one big event, which is the disaster on the shuttle, and then you have you have all these larger, technically, stories about how she got there and the relationships that are happening, or did happen. Like, at the beginning, maybe when you first meet Lydia, you don't like her, but at the end of the book, you're very happy that she maybe survived, kind of thing. And you need the flashback part of the story to get to that.
Because a lot of flashbacks are like, this is something happening, now we're going to flashback. This is something happening. And what you're saying is like, there's one big thing, and it always goes back to that one big thing. Kind of, I mean, that's what you're, versus like, I don't know what I'm saying. Never mind.
I got what you're saying. I think that's what she was saying.
Yeah.
And the only critique I have is I felt like a little bit in the middle, I needed to be reminded about what was going on in December of 1984.
Yeah.
Like we got a little bit lost in the past during, when they're in love and existing. I got a little bored.
You're right.
I just needed one scene, just one,
and
to
I
bring it
remember
back.
saying to myself, I kind of wish we would go back to. I understand why she did it. You had to build that relationship. I'm not like, and it wasn't poorly done or anything, but I kept thinking like, we haven't checked in on this little group of people in a while. We haven't checked in on, so she does kind of get, I wouldn't say bogged down, but you're right. There is that kind of.
Yeah, the pace kind of slows down a little
in
bit.
the middle, just in the middle.
Yeah.
More like 2/3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost wish Vanessa had one other challenge up in space other than kind of, she had to get out of the suits, attach the respiration monitors, do the latches. I think there should have been one more event before the latches that Vanessa had to work through, if that makes sense. And that could have gone in the middle somewhere. Didn't have to be big, didn't have to be long, but just to show that she's really trying. Or maybe like she finds out she only has so much time and she tries to go back and finish the latches and then makes the decision when she realizes that Lydia doesn't have enough time. I don't know. There just needed to be some kind of callback to that one moment in the middle where it started to kind of be a little bit of a lull. But other than that, did it go okay for you? Would you have done it differently?
No, see, the thing was, with this story, with like the major story and then the flashbacks, it reminded me, I think I told you this, of Project Hail Mary.
I haven't read that one yet.
Yeah, it sort of happens in that book where there's like a past story and then a present story going
Movie's
on.
coming out.
I know.
Yeah, okay.
And like I liked it in this book better than I liked it in that book.
Oh.
Yeah. And I didn't hate Project Hail Mary. It wasn't my favorite book. It wasn't my favorite Andy Weir book. I like The Martian better. I feel like Project Hail Mary was just like a bit of a copy paste for that. Especially the character.
Story kind of feels a little similar. Minus, I'm pretty sure there's an alien in there somewhere, but I've not seen nor read it. Yeah. So yeah, but you were okay with it. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Ready for the next question? So there's like two parts to this question. What did you think of the love story? And then, do you think the subtitle of the book, A Love Story, because it's Atmosphere, A Love Story, only refers to Joan and Vanessa?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. There's the love of the niece and that relationship. There's the love of space. There's the love of her work.
Mm-hmm.
All of this is about her. Her first love was probably her niece, sister niece, all that kind of stuff. But her being able to expand upon that and find new love, the loves of this friend group. Mm-hmm. I mean, as it, even for the reader, it's haunting. It's like, oh God, Hank's gone. Oh God, this person, Griff's gone. And it's like she's trying to rein it in, but she can't because she's fallen in love with them too in a wonderful way. So yes, she and Vanessa are the central story. I think it's very well done. I think it's very honest about the realities of how that relationship would work, even in today's society. I feel like that's still the case. I think it's very well done. I don't think it's too fast or too slow. I mean, it's too slow in the sense of they focused on it a lot at that one little part that we talked about.
But I'm also still okay with it.
Right.
Like, I don't think we should cut anything out.
But it was always well done. It made sense how they went from the honeymoon phase to the, comfort phase to they had that. I love that whole bit about the fights.
Me too.
So important.
It was so real. Go ahead, continue.
No.
I know. Because I was like, oh my gosh. Like, my husband and I have had fights like that in real life where you're just so frustrated with the other person, but then like you're okay with how things shake out and you would much rather be fighting with them than not have them there. Like, it's a weird experience. Or like her being like, you have to go into the shuttle even though it's going to ruin my day. Like, you have to go get this flight practice or whatever.
And you know how like a lot of romances, they always have the fight and then they have to recover, like in the one we read last time.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a plot device at all. It was just her
I love that.
describing.
Where she takes in Francis and she needs to, and Joan's like, we can't do this anymore. Mm-hmm. And they have that fight and she makes Vanessa leave and then Vanessa calls her and she's like, no.
There's no lingering.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It was so good. And that is legitimately happened. Like, that is a very real, it pulled up a sense memory in me that I was like, I love it. It's like, you're going to listen to me.
Yeah.
I think people are going to read this and say love story, and they're going to think cheesy romance or raunchy romance or not. This is just an honest.
Yeah.
story about people and who they are and their adventures. I mean, that's really, the love story is a part of it, but it's not the part of it. You know what I mean? Like the romance, excuse me, is not the part of it.
Yeah.
I agree.
The love part of it is.
So I loved the relationship. I love that it was a good slow burn. It made sense to me. I love that it wasn't even rushed. That there were like Vanessa got frustrated and she's like, Joan, how can you not see this? I can wait, but I mean, am I going to wait? Like, it's going to kill me how long we're going to wait for this to move forward, right? And I'll do it, but it's awful. And I loved that. And I loved how they came together. I loved their ups and downs, and it felt so real. Go ahead.
So I love how like the catalyst to get them together was a stripper.
Oh my gosh.
So when that first happened, I thought, really? That's kind of tacky. And then when they reveal later that it wasn't because she was like suddenly in love with Raven, it's because she looked like Vanessa. And then it was like, okay, so that wasn't the trashy that I expected.
Vanessa called her on it.
Yes,
I was
did,
like,
yeah.
oh, I would have been so embarrassed.
You know what? But Taylor does that. So even in Malibu Rising, there's like this cocaine-infused party. In my poor book club, they were like, we hated it. Because of that party. So she always has like one of those moments, but she handles it so well, bringing it like back down to earth. But yeah, when that first happened, I'm like, really? That's like the teenager finding the dirty magazine. That's how that felt. And then I was like, oh no, that's kind of sweet.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. I also, side note, I love how Griff handled the whole situation because he also had a slow burn for Joan, right?
Yeah.
He was also waiting for her.
Yeah.
And he very gracefully was like, I kind of figured, and it's okay. Give me time, though.
Yeah.
But it was also a real reaction. It was like, give me time.
Yeah.
And then he was good. So that was the first part of your question. I actually really loved the romance part. The love story part, I love how the author just really made the reader feel Joan's sense of wonder and excitement and joy. And I love that she created, like, in pursuit of this dream is how Joan ended up finding her love for her life. Her friendships expanded because she went from being just like this freshman professor who would go home and eat a microwaved dinner by herself. She had, obviously, Vanessa. Her love and role for Francis grew. Even though she was always present for Francis, she really stepped into that maternal world. And I love that the same thing happened for Vanessa. They dreamed of going up to the stars. They dreamt that was their whole mission in life, was to get into space. And then once they both were in space, they realized that they fell in love with their own life on Earth. And so it was falling in love with themselves. And I was just...
And it was
so good.
like
So
Joan going off on these tangents about space or God or all these things. And then she's worried because she realizes with Vanessa, she's kind of like, okay, that's probably too much. But that was the catalyst for the room. Like, you understand me, like that was cool. It wasn't just a physical attraction or something like that. There was so much more to it.
And all of those little conversations set the groundwork for them to have a very deeply personal conversation over comms, which could be... They weren't able to speak plainly while they're on the comms. And they think that Vanessa probably won't make it back down to Earth. And, like, she was able to communicate how much they loved each other, how much Joan thought that Vanessa's family would have been proud. Vanessa was able to talk about Francis in a way that I wasn't expecting.
And while you don't remember Jack, at the end when he's finally... Me too. I'm with you, Thea. I was like, wait, who's Jack? But that whole thing of like, because Vanessa does know she's defying the orders and probably will not have a job. And Joan realizes, she's pretending like there isn't this relationship so she doesn't lose her job. And finally, Jack's just kind of like, say what you need to say. Yeah. And so it's like, and I think for him, it's like, even if you do lose it, wouldn't you rather have that? Like that. So for all of not knowing Jack, I liked Jack. Jack was cool.
Yeah, everyone seemed supportive of her. Like, even in a weird way, even Antonio, who was like, no, this is not okay. You need to end this relationship. He didn't say that in so many words, but at the same time, he didn't fire her. He didn't immediately say, you are a risk.
It was almost like I care and I want to warn you,
like
to keep it where it is so that it doesn't get there. And then I respected him almost for it. Because I think for him, it wasn't a personal thing. It was, if this comes to light, you lose something that I know you're good at and you love. So it was a protective thing,
Yeah. Even though he's not our favorite, and it's awful that the conversation had to happen. I don't know. Anyway, the love story, she just made me fall in love with all of the things. The author did.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
She has a great way of like, there are just certain lines, and of course now I can't point them out except for the funny one that I'm going to mention, but there's certain ones, and she did this in Malibu Rising, where you just hit the end of a chapter and it's just like, boom, gut punch. And you don't know how to describe it. She just has that way of just, there's just something about it. And then you're like, oh. And then you just have to keep going. You're not recovered yet from whatever the last paragraph was. She does a really good job with that. I also liked how she structured it where there were chapters, but then there were pauses within the chapter because they were like mini chapters or whatever, because it was all about the time. The chapters were the time periods. And then she still broke up the story. This would be a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
I can't picture any of the
I think
actors.
it's been bought by
Really?
like Leica Studios, I believe.
I saw that too. I know.
We'll see
The
who the
characters
producers
in my
are.
head, I don't feel like were actors. Like they were just made up. But I did look up actors for whenever we get there.
I didn't, but I could see, you know how I tell people I like a book where I could see this entire thing
Same.
on screen, how it's going to look. That final, oh yeah, I got it. It's going to be good. And if you screw it up, whoever I'm about to look up and find, I will come for you. No, I'm kidding. I hate that. That's my only fear is like that they're gonna take it and they're not gonna see the vision that I felt like I saw, and it's gonna be.
Which is why I always watch the movie first. I know. Everyone else is like, read the book before. No, you watch the movie first.
All right, we be ready for the next question?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any favorite moments or quotes?
I have my one.
Your one? You want to
There's
go
the-
ahead?
Yeah, sure. It's the one where the first time Lydia really cracks a joke, she's like, "What, y'all didn't know we were funny?" Donna goes, "No, none of us thought that." And it was just, but it was also the bonding moment, you know? It's like when like with Paris Gill, where Rory like finally started to crack through some of that, and it was just, that was one of those moments where I didn't, like you said, you didn't necessarily get tremendous characterizations of all these people, but I felt it, you know, knowing enough to feel it. That just cracked me up. I don't know why I laughed.
It was funny.
I loved it. And then it happened later on, and then it became like the running joke of, told you I was funny.
Yeah.
Told you I was funny.
Actually, I feel like Donna was probably really funny in real life. Like, I feel like she added flavor and color to their conversations and stuff based on how she would react to, like, seeing Joan in her dress.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Like, that was a funny little moment.
I also think Donna and Lydia were good foils for Joan's path.
Mm-hmm.
Because she said, she's like, if Donna does this, she may never get into space because she can't go to space pregnant. She can't go to small children. And this she must really love, Hank to do that.
Yeah.
Versus Lydia, who does, and then Lydia comes in and kind of has that moment with Joan. So they were interesting foils for which path do I choose.
So I feel like Lydia was probably on the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like Joan was probably on the spectrum.
Definitely.
And then
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
think that's why Joan was able to relate to
Connect.
Lydia and understand in a way, but also able to eventually see things from Donna's perspective. Because it's like, how could two astronauts fall in love? And then after Joan and Vanessa get together and they're like, oh, if Joan suddenly realizes this is what all those silly Beatles songs are about. I get it now. I get it on a deeper level. So it was really nice. I think that's part of why Joan was the heart of the whole crew, because she could relate to everyone.
that one, that was when it kind of broke my heart for Griff, when she was like, I don't think astronauts should date. And you could just feel him just, oh. I liked Griff so much. Like,
Yeah, he was
obviously they
good.
should not have ended up together or anything. But and then he dies, and that was the one I hated. Griff was the one that killed me.
Same.
The other ones, I mean, Hank obviously with his
Hank
wife.
I was upset about
but
too.
Griff was the one because I wanted him to find happiness
I know.
because he deserved it. He was a good guy.
I know.
Such a good. I mean, Hank was too. They're all good guys, but not all of them. But those two were good guys. So anyway, poor
Right.
Griff. I'm sorry. Go for it.
Well, I was just wondering if, because I
I'm trying to
have a
find
few
it.
of
You
them.
go ahead.
Okay, well, this might be a moment. Okay, so I liked the moment after Joan had to do the water training where she had to like swim under the parachute from this, like, I don't know. I didn't fully understand the mechanics as they were describing it. Like she was in the boat
Like
and then
they
she was
do, like,
flying
a paragliding
behind,
and she released and she
and then
fell.
she had to fall and
Yeah.
go under. And anyway, but at the end she said, my God, she thought, what else can I do after she did that? And I'm like, what a triumphant moment. Like just those endorphins that you get or whatever is released when you do something that like incredible. When Vanessa and Joan are all flirty or whatever in the beginning before anything really starts, and Joan was grumpy about being at a party, and Vanessa was saying when somebody's too smooth, there's nothing to hang on to, and now you have some edge. I can hang on. And I was like, oh, Well.
That was a funny one where they were like, "What's the worst thing you've ever done?" And Joan's like, "Well, I did this," and Vanessa's like, "I did drugs."
I know. I know. I stole something as a child. Although, did you know that Joan stole something later?
Yes.
She took the mug or something like that when Frances, coming home from the
Boarding school.
boarding school,
yeah,
she
yeah.
stole the mug or what?
It's like the full circle. She wasn't going to give it back because she gave back the one as a child, right? That was the
something like that. Okay, and then let's see. Pilot to pilot, you gotta look the part, and Hank gives Joan her aviators.
Mm-hmm.
And you knew it was going to be a big moment because that's what the cover is. The
Is that
aviators.
Joan? I thought that was Vanessa.
So she looks like Vanessa, but I feel like that's supposed to be Joan.
Mm.
Because they kept talking about Vanessa's curly hair.
I thought that too. And then when that scene happened with the aviators, yeah. Well, it made sense it was Joan because, I mean, she was anyway, sorry.
So one of my favorite scenes was between Lydia and Joan when Lydia is asking Joan why she got the mission over Lydia. And, like, it's just so frank.
Yeah.
And then, like, later when Lydia, in a different conversation, is, like, snapping green beans or something at the table. And Lydia's like, I heard you threw up a bunch.
Lydia was a savage. I loved Lydia. She was a savage.
Paris Geller is very accurate.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to, but you can't help it.
Joan says the world is full of Barbaras, and that was the whole problem. Yes, Joan. Yes, it is. Good job. I loved the author's... We're just going through my notes now.
No, I love it. Yeah.
I loved the author's choice for Joan to be ill in space, like getting sick. It's such a human thing to happen. You finally get your dreams, and it doesn't necessarily go exactly how you thought. And then it gave you insight to other things. I'm like,
It was the reality that helped to realize I want to be the person on. I still want to be here, but I want to be in something different. So I liked it. Yeah, good point. And then it led to the Lydia line, which was hilarious. So I like a good setup for a punchline. You know what I mean?
No.
So that was a good setup for a punchline.
Joan had said in space, I'm worried I spent my entire life hoping for something I can't stand. And what a feeling. Like, Taylor Jenkins Reid really hits those, like, human moments where it's like you finally get what you want and it's harder than anything you thought it could be. And you're like, how am I going to survive this? How am I going to
There's a
move
line
on?
in a Jodi Picoult book that I have, like, I took a picture of because I just like it. It's like, I've been gone from it for so long. It was I won't go into the whole details because it's a spoiler for the book, but it's like, I've been in this for so long that I set a goal for so long that I forgot, and then I got out of it, and now I can't remember why I set it in the first place, and it scares them out of me. And it's like, that was that same sentiment, and that one hit me the same way this one did. I was like, oh, dang,
It's funny you mentioned Jodi Picoult because I feel like Taylor Jenkins Reid is another, like, it's the next generation of Jodi Picoult.
Absolutely.
Like I get the same feelings when I read the other books. Anyway.
I like Taylor Jenkins Reid better. I think it's my generation. I think she's our generation, but I've now read both, and she's for me more. So,
I mean, I totally get that. More relatable. The land masses. When Joan, looking out the window, realized that she couldn't see the states divisions. She couldn't see the difference between U.S. and Mexico. I was like, that's lovely. Those are my quotes, and it should be known that for the soundtrack in my head, the whole book, and for the last, I don't know, week, I've been hearing The Sign of the Times by Harry Styles. And I'm like, this is this book's feeling. Like, if you want this book in a song.
So then I thought about, I was like, I will say, so now picture that song going in that last scene.
I know.
High and the high. And I can just imagine her where she takes it and says hi, she closes her eyes and smiles black.
I know.
I'm like, and the Oscar goes too, like that is like the perfect ending. And again, that's that cinematic vision she has. Oh, now imagine Harry Styles playing. That's a perfect song for that.
Telling
it's
you.
It. We're gonna make such a good movie if they let us.
We're gonna edit.
Call us.
I know. We're gonna revise the movie. If they just let us.
We could totally do that. By the way, we do it with the books. We could do it with the movies too. So.
Did you find your spot?
I found one of them.
Oh, good.
So it's that part where they're at that, I think, like, cookout or whatever. At whose house?
It's in the beginning.
Yeah, Steve and Helene's house. And Vanessa had just compared Joan to Marlon Brando.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
And then
Paul Newman.
Ugh.
Yeah, and then Joan compares Vanessa, like the first time she saw her, she's like, she thought of Cool Hand Luke.
And she can eat 50 eggs. I love that scene, by the way.
And then Vanessa's like, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Oh.
I thought that was sweet. And then I can't find the other one. It's when I think they're like discussing their relationship or something. And Vanessa's like, I want to wake up next to you. And if I wake up and you're not next to me, I'm going to go look for you kind of thing. Yeah. That whole speech. I can't find it though. I should have marked it, but I didn't. It was really sweet. Like, I want to live with you. I want to, like, if the cabinet door starts to break, I want to fix it.
Yes. Who does not want to be told those things?
I know.
And it could have so easily been cheesy, and it wasn't. It never crossed that line. And I don't know how she did it, but it just never did. Because it was real. That's why.
Yeah.
It wasn't intended to be a cheesy romance. And that, anyway.
There was more at stake for everyone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And knowing that they would give up their lifelong dreams for each other, but also the other wouldn't let them give up their lifelong dreams. So you knew they were going to pursue their dreams no matter what. That's what made it real.
Mhm.
That's what made it not cheesy.
Mhm.
Because if we were reading a romance book and it's like, I would give up going to space for you, we'd be like, ugh, go to space, ugh. But like in this, it's like, oh, we know that's never going to happen.
Mhm. Mhm. Not 1 ounce of jealousy.
No, they rooted
When-
for each other.
Yeah, like when Joan got the first one, she goes, "I'm not. It does nothing to do with you." And that was such an important. Yeah, I want to get there, and yeah, I'm going to be disappointed when my name's not called, but it's never because I'm going to be disappointed that your name was called instead.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh God, how healthy is that? That is so. Thank you.
I'm
We
gonna
need
be
more of that.
So excited for you. Yes.
Right.
I'm going to be your cheerleader no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
There's not enough of that in the world. With friendships, relationships, family, there's not enough of that in the world.
And that makes me believe that if she
Mhm.
wakes up and Joan's not there, she's going to seek
She's
her
gonna-
out.
yeah.
She's going to make her coffee. She's going to fix the cabinet door.
And that was such a contrast too, I think, for Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
Because Barbara was, I'm going to make you feel guilty about pursuing your dream because you're not here to do what I want you to do or what I think you should be doing. So I think that was an important thing too, because for her sister and her niece were her first loves, and it wasn't the healthiest relationship.
No. it
So to
wasn't.
see the reverse of that of, no, you need to pursue your dreams no matter what, and I still love you, and I'm not going to ever make you feel guilty about it is such a contrast.
But I will say, family is different. So
Oh, I
Joan-
know, I
No,
know.
no. Like this is gonna be slightly in contrast. I will say that everyone hated Lydia. Lydia was Barbara in the other.
But anyway,
But like everyone was
yeah.
annoyed by her, and everyone in the group was annoyed by her. And Joan gave her grace and didn't grit her teeth. And she was also honest. When Lydia was like, "I'm smarter than you," and Joan was
No.
like, "No, you're not." Like
I
she
like
wasn't
that. Yeah,
mean.
yeah.
It's like, "I work harder than you do." No, you don't. But she also didn't do that to Barbara. She was not honest with Barbara.
That's true. That's true.
She also capitulated to Barbara.
Yeah.
So I mean, yes, Barbara's awful,
I just
but
meant
she's like
that Vanessa represented what love could be
yes.
because what was there was not as healthy
Mm-hmm.
on both ends, but just in general that Vanessa was able to get her to that point, not just anyway.
At least in her adult relationship, because
Yeah,
I definitely
yeah.
think that Frances was always
Oh yeah, no, yeah. In
source
her adult
of-
relationships,
Yes.
Okay, I found the quote that I was looking for. Okay, so this is Vanessa. I can wake up every single day and choose you over and over and over again. If you're in bed next to me, I will take your hand. If you are not, I will go find you. I will spend the rest of my life, if I get that lucky, seeking you out. Not because I promised you or because you're there, but because I will want to. I will want to be beside you every day forever. Yeah,
That's a wedding vow.
it is.
Was that the one that made me? There was. See, you know how I'm bad about
Okay.
this, and then I think of stuff later. But there was one that I literally went. It was like, and I don't do that. I don't do that. Now I can't remember what it is. Maybe that was it.
Maybe.
I don't remember. But there was one. And again, I told you she's good at those gut punches.
Yeah. All right, next question. What did you think of the ending?
I sobbed.
Cut. Perfect.
Yeah.
Like
no notes.
I knew I texted you that I knew that it was going to be hard for
Mhm.
me to experience this book when the NASA person, Antonio or whoever, maybe it was Jack, made them listen to the crew fire for one of the
Mhm.
early Apollo missions
Mm-hmm.
and listen to that. Like I was like, oh no, I'm not going to survive this book. And then I cried multiple times over the last quarter of the book.
Mm-hmm.
And poor Phoebe's coming in, and I'm trying to like pull it together. And it's like, yeah, Phoebe, I can help you with this. And I was like, I'll return to the book and I'll be fine because the momentum has been broken. Nope. I sobbed. Big old ugly tears. It was perfect because Taylor Jenkins Reid, to me, isn't a guarantee that Vanessa would live.
Mm-hmm.
It was 1 minute left to go on my audiobook, and Vanessa was still, like, she was gone. Joan gave up. Joan saw, like, she had that moment where she's like, okay, here it is. And she's, like, on the floor, and she has her moment of peace of being so grateful that she got to know Vanessa. And then you hear the crackle, and I was like, oh, shoot. I'm not going to survive. I just, oh.
And I, at first, was like, oh, I wish there were like an afterword.
Yes.
And now I'm like, no.
It ended perfectly.
No, you don't have to know. It doesn't matter. That was the moment that mattered. That's it. Everything else will be fine. That's the point. She's alive. Everything else they'll figure out. They will be happy. They will raise this girl, and everything will be fine. I mean, it's just. But it was like part of me is like, oh, but what happened? What happened? And then it was like Lydia was alive, and I was as relieved about that as I was about Vanessa.
Yes.
Because I like I said, I immediately was like, I know I'm gonna like Lydia at the end.
Yeah.
I know how that sounds, but as soon as they're making her to be likable, which means I'm gonna like her.
She also had a hero moment. She's the one that saved everyone
Yes.
in that moment.
And you wonder if that's because Joan got to her and made her realize, we all are smart. We're all you have to show that you care about this team,
Mm-hmm.
and then you will be up there. And they don't necessarily show that journey, but then Lydia's up there, so you know that transformation and that little, line off of "She saved us, she's a great astronaut" was like, okay, she realized what it was that she needed to do, which was care.
Lydia is the Neville Longbottom of this series, the secret actual hero, and watching them grow. Because Joan was always a good person, right? Like she grew into herself, and it was lovely to watch and experience and feel. But Lydia grew as a human.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Angelique?
The Neville I love that.
Little Harry Potter reference for you.
No, I like the ending. I'm glad she survived.
I'm also
That's all I wanted.
But I feel like if she hadn't, it still would have been so
it still
freaking
would have
well
been a good
written.
book.
It would have been
saying.
like I would have been bawling the same way. But it
Yeah.
was like, it because you didn't have that guarantee, it made what happened real.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like you and so. But I feel like she could have written it the exact opposite, and while it would have been. It would, we know how we would have reacted to it. It still would have been good.
Yeah.
Well, see, at the same time, it's so smart that Taylor Jenkins Reid had her go and have a peaceful moment, because when Joan started to try to come to peace in that moment with the fact that Vanessa was dead, I also gave up hope that Vanessa would come through. And I was like, we got like less than a page here. And the roller coaster that I went on experiencing this. Whew.
Yeah.
She did a good job. You think about your favorite, like you think about Apollo 13
Mm-hmm.
or Gravity or those space movies where your adrenaline's so high and you're like, holy crap, holy crap, holy crap. And then that triumph at the end,
The release.
she nailed that same vibe of what makes those movies the classics that they are. So
I concur.
just saying.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't want to miss a thing. Like in Armageddon,
Yeah.
we could do that. That would be good too.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
This time Bruce Willis didn't die, and I think that's important.
Okay. I've never seen Armageddon.
I just ruined it for you. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Are you ever planning on seeing Armageddon?
I don't know. It's been
No, it's
30
not a good.
years.
It's not a great movie.
It was 1997, right?
8.
So yeah,
Okay.
it's been 28 years. I don't know that I'm gonna.
It's a classic. Okay.
I don't like that. It's a
Michael
classic
Clark
already.
Duncan, who's no longer with us.
He's
I saw
in
his
that?
grave. Yeah, he's singing "Leaving on a Jet." That's a great movie.
Oh my
I
gosh.
probably would watch it now. I think it's really, really bad, but as a kid, I thought it was great. I don't want to miss a thing.
Okay. I remember that music video with Liv Tyler.
I remember that.
Yeah. Diane Warren wrote that, the famous songwriter. Anyway,
Okay. Who would you cast in a movie or show?
I'm glad you have, because I
did
couldn't
look at-
picture. I couldn't picture.
I did this
I-
after the fact.
I was
Go
going
ahead.
through I was like looking up actresses. She might be too old, but Clea Duvall.
Oh my goodness.
I've never seen her have that kind of, like, she always does like sad movies. So
What?
Um.
Or Aubrey Plaza.
ooh.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So
I thought Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah,
One of
I
them.
thought of her too.
yeah. Okay, so for Joan, I thought Brie Larson or
Mhm.
Yvonne. I can't.
Strahovski from the Handmaid's Tale. Yeah,
Yes.
she's good. Yeah, I like her.
However, that also might still be a little old because that's the like. I was thinking probably.
They look. They're
Well,
beautiful. They look good.
Of course, they're beautiful, but I'm thinking like they also have to be able to play younger, like because they have to go back like into their early mid-20s. So I thought
do they
Zendaya.
though? I thought they were like in their 30s at the beginning of the book. Not at the
Oh,
beginning
you're
of
right,
the
because there's
time.
37. Vanessa talks about being
Yeah.
37, but I
Yeah.
don't know how old Joan is.
Yeah, neither do I. So,
Okay. Well, in my brain, I was like, oh, they've got to be in their late 20s. Whoops. Okay. So I also thought Zendaya. Okay. So my ideal would be Florence Pugh as Vanessa and Zendaya as Joan. But something about them, I feel like they're I don't know. They might need to be switched, but I feel like Zendaya would be a better Joan. But so Florence Pugh, Lashana Lynch from Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah.
Haley Steinfeld could also be
I
Vanessa.
like Haley.
Sophie Turner or Katie M. O'Brien. She was in okay. Let me look her up for you.
was she in Star Wars?
She
One of the Star Wars-
was!
Yeah. Was she in that Love Lies Bleeding with Kristen Stewart?
Oh yeah, that is her. Oh yeah, she's good. In that
Yeah.
movie.
She would be a good Vanessa, is who I thought. Barbara, Chloe Grace Moretz, Joey King, or Sadie Sink. I feel like could do Barbara.
Ooh, Sadie Sink. That would be cool. Yeah.
But yeah, Florence Pugh.
I saw like a
She's
fan
fantastic.
cast. This is like
Who?
I love Florence Pugh.
Oh, I thought you said who, and I was like,
No. I think
she
she's
could be in
fantastic.
anything. I love her.
And she's
too.
done everything from like horror, like that Macbeth thing that she did to big things. She's good. Anyway,
I saw like a fan casting thing. This is like a completely like minor character for Antonio Benjamin Bratt.
ooh, perfect.
Oh my,
Perfect.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah,
love him.
hadn't done anything in a while. That'd be good to see him.
He was also in Star Wars as Leia's father. What is his name?
Yep. I can't remember the name, but I can see it.
Can't remember the character's
yeah,
name.
yeah. Anyway,
Okay,
he
we
was
need
in
to
one
move
of those.
on.
Yeah, sorry.
Do we have any final thoughts?
Probably not.
If you liked Atmosphere, definitely go through some of her other books.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is look out for, so in all of her other books, a character crosses over into a new novel or like something like that. So like Carrie Soto is back. Carrie Soto was kind of like a one-off character in Malibu Rising. So I'm just trying to figure out which, maybe Lydia, but she's kind of a main character. It's usually someone that's not as necessarily a big of a character,
Mhm.
but the next novel, see if it's about that person. Just saying. It's like all of her Malibu trilogy or LA trilogy. So from Evelyn Hugh to Daisy, there's, and I can't remember now the characters, but there's always like a little connection somewhere along the way.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
So just wondering who.
Oh, gosh, I wish I had said this earlier. We already talked about how much I love the breakup fight, but at one point, Joan had said to Vanessa, it isn't a discussion about breaking up. She's like, it's not a discussion. And then later, Vanessa, when she was in the shuttle, told NASA that it wasn't a discussion. There were a lot of mirror moments throughout the whole book like that. And that wasn't really a big thing to end on. I don't know.
No, I liked it.
But yeah, no, this book devastated me. I cried a
Very
lot.
good. Very, very good.
I didn't think I was going to recover enough for this podcast.
And this is like a Goodreads best fiction of the year, and very often I don't find that those, like when I've tried to read those, I've not enjoyed them. Goodreads readers, you nailed this one. Good for you.
I love that we all loved it.
I do too, because I was worried about this one.
I was worried about both of you. I was like, this is my novel.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Like,
When it's well written, it don't matter. I think that's one of those, you can like any genre as long as it's well written like this. You can find something you like.
yes. Good
So-
job.
Okay.
That's
so
a nice button.
I just want to point out one note that I have.
Let's
'cause
unbutton that
sometimes-
button.
So I usually like list characters in a brief description when I do notes. And for Vanessa, I just put other main superior Riz.
Yes.
That's funny.
That's why it needs to be Florence Pugh.
I'm in on that. That's happening. That's
All right.
happening.
Are we done?
Yeah.
All right.
No, rebutton the button.
What?
As long as it's well written, anybody can read any genre. Boom.
Okay.
Boom.
Boom.
I'm not. How am I going to edit that?
You're not gonna. It's a bit.
All right. Okay. All going well, this episode will be posted before the end of March, which means I can promote the annual Friends of the Gaston County Public Library book sale beginning Monday, April 6th and ending Saturday, April 11th, and being held at the main library branch on 1555 East Garrison Boulevard. The library's Friends organization will be selling donated books, DVDs, and more. Book sale proceeds are dedicated to providing equipment, furnishings, resources, and programming for our library patrons. So come to the book sale and support your library. For more information on book sale hours and becoming a member of the Friends of the Gaston County Public Library, please visit www.friendsofgcpl.org. I'll put that link in the episode description. That's it for this episode of We're Booked Up. Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid is available in the library and on the NC Digital Library through the Libby app. Let us know what you think of the book and what you think of what we think of the book. Just leave a comment at the Off the Shelf blog at gastonlibrary.blogspot.com or at gastonspeaks.podbean.com. Next month's book will be How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying by Django Wexler. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.